Hello everyone, welcome back to a new episode of Doctor Who and Autism celebrations. As we get even closer to the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who, which is it's crazy. The year goes too fast. Today I'm joined with Miranda, and we met on TikTok, so it's going to be a good way to talk about Doctor Who today and just have some fun. So Miranda, if you wouldn't mind just doing a little introduction to yourself as well.
Yeah, hi. My name's Miranda, and I make Doctor Who TikToks. I make a few other fandoms, but Doctor Who is a big priority on my page. And yeah, it's a great community to be on TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah, we probably sit on TikTok scrolling for hours,
I
every day.
know,
Yeah,
bad. I've had to like stop looking at my For You page because like over the summer it was just crazy.
yeah, it is. It's very crazy. Yeah. So with Doctor Who, when did you start watching it?
So first time I found out about Doctor Who, I was in middle school and David was just ending his last season and I saw clips on YouTube and I was like, oh, this looks like a pretty cool show. I like sci-fi, but I didn't really understand what it was. And then shortly after I saw those clips, Matt Smith had been announced to be the new Doctor, and everyone was so excited. There was just so much hype, and I started seeing the merch everywhere, and I was like, okay, I had to find out what this show is about. And at the time, Netflix had Doctor Who, and it was Christopher and David. And so I started watching Christopher, and I was confused at first because I thought it was just like David. I didn't understand the show or the regeneration. So I watched for so confused. And then, you know, like we all did at his short run, we fall in love with him, and then he turns into 10. And I was like, oh, okay. And then by the time I finished 10, Matt Smith premiered as the 11th Doctor, and then I watched the 11th Doctor as it aired, and then all the way through 12 and 13, and now 14, 15, 60th.
Yeah, it's crazy how fast these regenerations go.
I know it feels like it. I feel like 12 and 13 were like the quickest.
Yeah,
12 and 13 felt like a blink.
yeah, they were pretty fast. I guess 13 didn't get a lot of episodes in either.
No, even though she didn't have a long season, it was so gapped out because of the pandemic. And so it was like if we got like what 3 episodes per like 6 months or something
Mm.
until the power of the Doctor. So in a way it felt long, but then it felt short because it's like, oh well, we haven't seen Jodie in a while, and now she's David. So
I guess when David was the Doctor, he did a similar thing. I think he did like 4 specials or 3 specials, gapped out over the year. So
yeah, yeah.
um, I like it when they do them, but we would all prefer a series, but they just want to gap them out.
Yeah. No, I'm so excited for it. It's gonna be really good. I'm so excited for the 60th and then Shooty's Christmas special. I mean, having the four just at the end of this year is really good for the Doctor Who fans because, like we said, like Jodie had so much gap, so it's gonna be a nice, like, kind of set continuous thing for us.
Yeah, I don't think we'll have to wait as long anymore. Like we have like near enough a year since the last episode. Over a year would be since the last one. Um,
Yeah.
so I think it would be more annual.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it would be nice to get back on track. And I think is Shooty's first season starting in spring or is it New Year?
I think it starts. It had to been confirmed, but I think it would be around April time, Easter time, I reckon.
Okay, yeah. That's what I keep hearing. So that's not too bad, especially after all the gaps we've had lately. So can
Yeah.
definitely wait with the 4 episode holdover.
I think you need a few months to kind of realize maybe what's going to happen in the 60th.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Because Shooty's Doctor, we get a Christmas special, which we haven't had in ages.
I know, because 13 always had New Year's specials. I didn't even realize it till last year. Last year on TikTok, I was doing Christmas, like Doctor Who Christmas related content each week, and I was like, oh wow, Jodie only has a New Year. I just never even noticed.
Yeah, like I always love when it's Christmas because I haven't been able to do it because Jodie has been the only Doctor since TikTok was created. So we haven't been able to watch the Doctor Who episode and be like, hang on a minute, I'll go and change. So, but I did do that when I started
Mhm.
doing it because in 2020 or at the end of 2020 when it was Christmas, I got a 10th Doctor cosplay for Christmas that year, and I got it on Christmas Day, and I was like, I'm gonna go and do as many videos as I can now, and I did. So what I'm hoping for this Christmas is what I've asked for is a Shooty Gatwa cosplay. So I'll watch the episode and then I'll do some videos of it afterwards.
Oh, that's so awesome. I love Shooties. Well, it's cool to see all these photos, and Shooty has so many different outfits. It's so crazy, but like his first initial look with the orange and brown, and oh my God, I love it. I found a pair of pants like over the summer that is like those colors. So I have that. I had an orange tank top. I might switch it out for something. I might cosplay him at a con in a few weeks, so that'd be really fun if I can get like the pieces together. But
Yeah, there's too many of them. I think we have to maybe pick one that we like.
yeah, I know. And then like the latest one, with the snowman, he's got a leather jacket and like a kilt. Like it's so absurd. It's so great.
I mean, by the looks of things, he's going to be in potentially 4 different costumes in one episode. Um, what it looks like because he was in that black, no, the brown leather jacket, and then he's in his original one. I don't know. Maybe he has an outfit saga in the episode where he just wants to try out different clothes.
Yeah. My gosh, what if like, because like we've only seen the closet maybe twice or something, and maybe like Shooty's like doctor is really involved with like the wardrobe artist. That'd be really cool.
We haven't seen the actual wardrobe since I'd say the Christmas Invasion, where we did see a big wardrobe with David Tennant, but he only got one out. And realistically, we would in life not wear the same clothes every day, and
Right.
that's what's happened for the last 15 years, maybe 16 years, and which is understandable because the budget weren't what it's like now. Like they got Disney now, so they got the money to
I
spend
know.
on Shooty's clothes.
Oh my God, that's so true. The Disney budget is going to be insane leading up. Like, I was pretty shocked to hear about it when they announced Disney Plus. I was like, okay, like, I mean, but I mean, at least we have Russell to like keep it humbled, not too, because part of the magic. I mean, I would think most fans think this. I don't know if it's just me or a smaller amount, but like the like part of the Doctor Who magic is not having great effects or going too like elaborate of they did really good with like 13. Like they went pretty like with their budget was
Yeah.
CGI. But I think it kind of lost outside the writing, I think it lost like the fans maybe a little bit, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think some of like, of course, the writing. A lot of people didn't like it that kind of way. But she did have a good. Power of the Doctor was one of the best episodes that she done. Not just because David was there, but just in general, it was a good episode. Like you had all Doctors returning, and yeah,
So good.
yeah.
He was
Um,
incredible.
mm. But I think the thing we have to think about is with the costumes. Shoti will have about 10 of one in case something goes wrong. So he will have like, it's not just like we see just he's wearing one. Like they have to maybe get loads of them in case something happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's so true. It's gonna be so exciting to see. I mean, it already is with like like you said, maybe 5 to 10 outfits we've already seen or something. So it's
Yeah.
gonna be awesome.
And it's the same, I guess, for the companion, Ruby Sunday. She'll be in all these different outfits as well.
Yeah, I like her outfit so far too. They're doing a really good job with it.
Yeah, they're doing really good. Um,
Yeah.
and they've already filmed. I think the soon they'll be starting, or they may have already started on series 15. So, and that probably won't come out till 2025. So it's crazy.
I know. Oh God, yeah. Next year is 2024. Holy crap.
Yeah,
It's just hey.
uh, it is crazy. They're planning ahead. Which it's interesting to see because shoot, he's already been announced for his second series, but will he just do that, or will he continue on for another one
Right, right.
after that?
Yeah, it's really exciting to be a Doctor Who fan right now.
Yeah, it's like when it all started back in 2005. That's what it kind of feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's so much excitement around the 60th.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to that? The 60th?
Fun. Yeah. I mean, I think like everyone else, we're just excited to see everyone back and Neil Patrick Harris being an addition, like the toy maker, like that's just gonna be such a fun storyline. And uh Donna has a family, to see her as a mom and the whole, Rose aspect with her name and then of course Bernard. It will be bittersweet, but it will be really nice to see Wilfred one more time.
Yeah, that part of it, I'm glad that they've kept that secret at the moment. Like they haven't announced anything. Uh, but it's gonna be sad to see him one last time. But it's gonna
I
be
know.
good.
I know. It's gonna be heartwarming and sad, but I'm really excited to see all of them, and I'm really excited just for like the toy maker storyline. That's so exciting. And Neil Patrick Harris is incredible. So it's like, and I can't wait to see him and David interact specifically.
Yeah, they got the dancing, so I'm really interested to see what are they dancing to.
I know. Oh my God. Last summer when they released that was like one of the first glimpses, and that was just so exciting, even just that little bit.
Yeah, that they got to be dancing to some sort of song, I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, Neil Patrick Harris usually puts a song number in anything he does. So I feel like he was like, and I'm sure Russell, loved it as much. So like Russell and Neil together, I mean, sounds like a dream team. So I'm sure they were like, yeah, we're definitely gonna do a little song number and like a villain song. Oh, there was also like that early on in like a teaser where Neil is on the ground, there's like roses, and he's kind of like making a snow angel out of them.
Yeah,
It feels musical moment, like maybe that's part of it too.
yeah. Um, when I always see them, I always feel like Toymaker's taunting the Doctor there with roses because of Rose Tyler, and of course you've got Rose as the daughter. So Rose is going to be somewhere in there. Maybe not the character, but maybe just brought back or just annoying the Doctor around that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's so if she would be like a glimpse or just like, a reference. I mean, if she's already a reference, just naming Donna's daughter Rose. So
Yeah, they've got a really good cast of people for the six.
yeah. Yeah.
Because
What do you look
yeah,
for?
I'm looking forward to. In particular, I am very looking forward to seeing the second one because it's very secret. The, the,
Yeah.
the Wobbly Yonder.
Yeah. It's gonna be so exciting. It's almost just over a month.
Yeah, yeah. But the funny thing is with time travel, this will be actually out sometime in November. So it's that's the good thing about, I guess, the TARDIS. This might be out before a special because at this moment in time, we still don't know
Yeah,
when they're out. We still don't know,
right.
which is crazy. But
Yeah.
we do know something's happened on the first, which is I think all the episodes going on BBC iPlayer in the UK. But on the 17th, which is Children in Need, there's going to be something happening then, which it may be a mini episode on the 17th, which got announced. And on the 23rd, something's going to happen. But apparently there's going to be no Doctor Who episode on the 23rd of November. So that's interesting.
Wait, it's not the 23rd anymore?
Well, no, there's not going to be an episode on the 23rd.
Oh, yeah. Okay. But yeah, I didn't know about the 17th and 21st. That's awesome. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
It's so exciting. And Beep the Meep.
Sorry?
Beep the Meep.
Oh, yeah. I wonder how long that character is gonna last.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting if that's just going to be for the Star Beast or if Beep the Meep going to continue in the other two.
Yeah, I know. I'm wondering if I feel like it's gonna be like a limited character.
Yeah.
I think it'll probably just be it just to like throw in like a new vibe, just to be like, hey, we're revamped, this is new. Like
I really want a Beep the Meep plushie. I hope they release them.
they have released one.
No, they haven't released them, but I would like them to.
Yeah. Oh my God. I know, and especially with like Disney, I mean, the merch that's gonna come out of the upcoming seasons it's just really good to be a Doctor Who fan.
It is, and I just want to go into the shop again, like I was a kid. I go into the shop and I'd be aisles full of Doctor Who stuff. At the moment, I go into the shop, and you're lucky if you get one thing of Doctor Who.
I mean, well, here in the US, I mean, I didn't notice Doctor Who merch until Matt became the Doctor. And I think it was like right when he aired, or even a little before, and I started seeing it. Because it was around Christmas when I started seeing. Because I remember there was like Christmas lights of the TARDIS, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. But yeah, it's pretty limited here too. But like when I do a lot of Comic Cons. I go to cons a lot, and that's always such a good place to find Doctor Who. I mean, any fan, but like I specifically go for Doctor Who stuff.
Yeah, that's the good thing about it, that you just find loads of Doctor Who stuff there.
Yeah, I'm going to one in like a few weeks, so it's like a few weeks before the 60th. So I'm like, oh my God, I think there's gonna be a lot of
Yeah,
Doctor Who. So I'm excited. I'll have to post if I get a lot of good stuff.
you have to. Like, I'm going to one right before the 60th, so on the 19th, on the 19th. So I'm hoping they announce some more, maybe a few more doctors. I'd love to meet Matt Smith, so I'm hoping he gets announced, or Jodie. So yeah,
I mean, also, I met David last year. He's the only doctor I've met, and that was incredible. He was exactly as you would imagine, and
yeah. I met him too. I met him this year, earlier on in the year.
oh, I talk. Yes,
Yeah,
that was incredible. That was awesome.
yeah. I spoke to him for a while. It's funny. I was getting kicked off at the end. They removed me. Yeah, like his bodyguard put his hand, and the last thing I said to him was Alon Z. Um,
Uh,
and he couldn't say anything back because the guard. It was my time was over. So, I guess he would have if we was there longer. But he's lovely.
oh yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, he's so lovely. It was um last year at the con I met him. He was supposed to do Saturday and Sunday, but then he had an emergency so he couldn't do Saturday. And I was like, oh, I bet he won't do Sunday. Like, why would he come over here just for Sunday? And then he did, and I was nervous that it would be so rushed because he had like double the amount of people for like Saturday people and Sunday people. So I thought it'd be like a quick like hi bye thanks and then just like walk out really quick. But he was just so attentive and so cool and like chill about it. And I was like, oh, I'm glad he's not like flustered about the crazy chaotic schedule that just happened. But regardless of all that, so sweet to everybody and gave everybody his time.
He don't rush you at all.
No.
He's just there. It's only the people who rush you would be his bodyguards or the people like that. Which I guess they have to.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if everyone was 2 minutes and a half like me, you wouldn't be able to go watch his Q&A that he had afterwards. But
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
he like what? It's funny because I had I go to Doctor Who locations to try to at least once a year, and I went to the location of the Girl on the Fireplace where the outside bit, you know, where Madame de Pompadour's on the garden and he's just
Yeah.
leaning over like he's peekabooing up and down. So I did recreate that scene, but I also had a picture. And what I'd done is I had a side by side picture of him there and me. And I gave it to him. I said, David, do you remember that it was like about 15 years ago? There you are. There I am. In the clothes as well. And he was laughing. He found that really funny.
Awesome. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I dug that. I love when the actors love the fandom and they love the fans, you know. It just like it's such a great back and forth. And I mean, of course he loves the fandom anyways because he loved it when he was a kid. So it's not anything new to him, but to love the fans back is really nice.
Yeah. He loves it, and it's one show that he loves very much. And I remember when he announced that he was leaving Doctor Who originally. I think it was at some awards event that he won and he couldn't come. And he's saying that he was leaving. He's really sad about it, and he was nearly crying. So that's how much it means to him.
Yeah.
Doctor Who.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love when it like cons mean a lot to them as much as it means to us. And I'm sure most of them know because some of them, you know, probably been in our position. Like maybe they went to cons as, you know, kids. I mean, cons are very different than, you know, 20 years ago or even more, you know, but
Yeah, I've I've only ever started going recently. David Tennant was actually my first ever one, so I remember that.
whoa,
Yeah,
that's pretty big. Oh my God,
yeah.
that's awesome.
But the thing is, it wasn't a big Comic Con. It was a small one, and they had what they had a couple of big guests, and then loads of maybe not as popular ones. So I only went for the Sunday, but they did it on the Saturday as well and the Friday. And they also had people from, I think they had Negan from The Walking Dead, who plays Negan.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah. He does a
um,
lot.
yeah, and I think a few of them from Supernatural. So Supernatural are very popular
Yeah.
at the Comic Cons. But yeah, and then David Tennant went. Um, it was great, and then I have been to a few more after that. I went to one where I met the five doctors, I think, all the classic doctors. Um,
Seen people go to that. That's incredible.
yeah. Then you have a photo with them. But when I had the photo, I wanted to have one at a time, not them all together, because I just think
Yeah.
it's better that way. Um,
Yeah. Crowded to do all of them.
yeah, yeah, because it was like this TARDIS console. You had one over there, one over there, one over there, one over there, and one there. So it's but yeah, and then I did go to another one where you met a few other companions.
Nice.
But you met
Oh,
K9, the one who voices K9, Katie Manning, and a few others. But yeah, it's great. It's great fun. You meet people who, if you go in cosplay, people recognize you. They say, I know who you are."
Oh my God. It is such a good feeling, like the people that you meet, because you're waiting in line and you're obviously waiting for the same person. So you're in the same fandom and you just talk about it. You talk about the con and I've only cosplayed a few times, very like minimal like work, nothing too elaborate, but it is fun when people recognize you. And I love seeing other people like get happy when people love their cosplay, it just makes their
Mm.
whole weekend.
Yeah, I went to, it was actually the David Tennant one, and someone came up and saw me because they knew me from like TikTok or Instagram. Um, and it's crazy. You always are a celebrity yourself when people start to recognize who you are.
Totally. You can totally be a celebrity at a con
Yeah,
cosplaying and you have a great 14th Doctor outfit as well.
yeah, that is a good one.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah,
great one.
I'm,
Yeah, they do as long as like we're talking about Shooty's wardrobe, like everyone in the 60th is like great costumes as well.
yeah. I think the reason why I haven't got that already is because I have nothing to go on. Except from I don't know who I am here. No, what the hell's going on here? And that little clip at the last trailer. So I'd rather wait until the episode, get it for the episode, and then you can do load videos on the day.
Yeah, totally. There'll be a train of people on it, TikTok and
Yeah, I'll be loaded with them. I always love when it comes to Christmas though. I always love doing Christmas videos, Doctor Who ones.
Christmas is so fun and then just adding Doctor Who is just like extra magical. It's so nice.
Yeah. Um, I went. I think it might have been last year. I went down to a beach, and I had my 10th Doctor cosplay on, and I was doing scenes from the Planet of the Dead. And it was funny because I felt like it had a little audience, people watching, and I think that they were thinking of filming for Doctor Who because you had me people recording and it's funny. I'm running up and down the beach, and I had to get the stuff, so I got like a vase. There's like Christina's cup and a diamond for where he has a diamond in it. So I like to try and get all the suitable stuff.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. That's really yeah, because they don't know what's happening. They can be like, yeah, he's totally completely filming an actual Doctor Who episode or promo or something.
Yeah. Do you because we got the 15th Doctor's theme and we got Ruby's theme, do you think
Mhm.
we'll get a 14th Doctor theme?
Oh, I'm not sure. I don't know if they're just gonna bring back tens or if they're gonna mix tens and to have that little nostalgia. I mean, with 15, they kind of married up 10 and 11, which was really nice. It was, and then had a little extra. Um, so I don't know. I honestly, I think it's gonna be just like 10, but maybe mix. I don't think they're gonna, and they may call it 14s, but I think it will just be like 10s. I don't think it's gonna be an original, complete original.
No, no. I think with Donna, I think they will make it. I think
She,
it'll be very similar to it was before, but I think they'll make it better than it was.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Totally. I think they'll just mix it. And Donna has a great theme to begin with. Like, why mess with hers?
No.
Hers is
Um,
so.
yeah, it is great. It was great to have that. I do really like her theme. It's awesome.
Oh, I like asking Doctor Who fans I've talked to about like especially last year when like Neil Patrick Harris like the first look of him and like most people were saying Toymaker, but then some people were saying like Dream Lord, and I was like, oh, Dream Lord would have been sick. Did that ever cross your mind?
I love the Dream Lord. Um, I but it did it could be the Dream Lord if we think about it, because I I I tell you what though, with the Dream Lord, with the episode we had, I thought it was the Master because it gave me that vibes when watching that episode. But you could mistake the Toy Maker for the Dream Lord, because they're very similar in a way because they can make illusions. Yeah.
Yeah, the Dream Lord's episode, like his intro was so similar to how they set it up in Utopia before Sim became the Master.
Mm.
But yeah, then 11 just never faced him. But yeah, the Dream Lord was such a good character, and it didn't cross my mind until people were saying it, Toy Maker versus Dream Lord, like last summer, you know. But I mean, obviously not. It's not who he is, but it would be a good revisitation with someone else down the line.
Yeah, I agree. Like earlier this year, I actually went to the location of the Dream World. In that
Oh,
episode.
that's
Um,
so cool. I'm seeing my UK friends
uh,
do visitations.
and I've done a load of them, but I haven't posted them because I might do it a bit later after the 60th, maybe because there's so much 60th content. But with that, it's actually like it is in the episode. It's dead. It's like a lost village. It's like a ghost town.
Yeah.
And it was raining when I went, and internet connection. I keep having to move. I keep having to move my phone to get the connection on TikTok and to do the different videos. Because yeah, it was really fun. Recreating those scenes in my 11th Doctor cosplay, which I don't really use that much anymore. Um,
Mm,
I was actually planning to use it more this year, but because the Doctor David Tennant returned was announced, I was thought I've got to do more David Tennant content now. If it's the 10th
yeah,
Doctor, now the 14th, so I have to. But yeah, I love Matt Smith's Doctor though, 11th Doctor.
I know. 11's so fun. But yeah, that makes sense. Like throw in a little 11 content before it's like 15 completely takes over, you know?
Yeah, 15.
Oh,
Yeah, it's crazy how many Doctors there's been already.
I, it's insane. I always think of like what they would go up to if they would just round it at 15, or they'd even, I mean, now with Disney, it's like, well, they're gonna continue and then maybe they'll round it at 20, but
Yeah, it's it's gonna sound weird
so
though. It'll sound weird when we get to 20.
yeah, it would be weird because it's just so many years ahead. But when you think of it, like there's people who have lived with Doctor Who their whole life, like the 60 is coming up. So it's like there are people who are
Yeah,
60 and up
yeah,
still alive.
there's. I spoke
It
to
could,
people that have been lost when they went on for a while. They was watching it growing up, and then it stopped for a while, and they
10 years.
didn't know what to do. They didn't know what
Yeah,
to do.
right, right. Just one day randomly, late 90s, they're like, oh, we're gonna do a little movie about that thing you used to like.
Yeah, it's crazy how long it's been there. 60
It's so,
years.
I know, there's just like no other franchise, there's no other fandom like it. I mean, there's Star Wars, which is younger than Doctor Who, but not too much younger. But to continue and have new faces and storylines and worlds, and it's incredible. Generations, I mean.
Yeah, I think that's what Doctor Who wants to be. I think what they plan to do is have their own universe where you have the main series, and then you'll have all these different like spin-offs as like about different things.
Yeah, eras, yeah.
Because that is what Disney Plus is famous for. There's spin-offs. Like you've got spin-offs of Marvel, spin-offs of Star Wars. So that's what they're good at. So I imagine they will. We've got Unleashed, so kind of similar to Confidential already, and a unit spin-off is kind of it probably
Yeah.
will happen.
I was talking about that with some people last year when the whole Disney Plus got announced, and exactly the same conversation that you just mentioned is like, oh, Disney is the master of spin-offs. So what spin-off could you do with the like whoniverse? And yeah, Unit was a big one. That would be bring Martha back. She's my favorite companion, so that would be incredible. I wouldn't be mad about that. So
Yeah.
and then or Torchwood Unit infused and
I think with Martha is that I couldn't see Martha being an understudy to Kate Lethbridge Stewart at UNIT. I could see her being in charge of her own department. So I could see
yeah,
her being there for UNIT, but just not maybe at the base of UNIT.
yeah, no, I agree. It would definitely be really cool to see the two storylines in the one show of, Kate and Martha running it. It would kind of be like Torchwood, how Torchwood is running one part of the storyline, and then either the UK or like the US government for their last season is like running the other side of it, and how they all mix together. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah. I think Martha to be in the 60th is quite possible because of UNIT, and it's involved around David Tennant as a temp doctor a lot, and Donna as well. She's quite involved in Donna's life, so I can see that happening.
Oh my God. I would love that, and I try not to think of it too much because then I would get. It's one of the ones where, like, if Rose does or doesn't show up, like, I'll be fine because I think it's still cool they continue the Rose theme with Donna's daughter, and like you said, even the little hints like with Neil in the roses. Um, but to have Martha, I'd be like, oh my God, I would just lose it.
I've I've said this
Oh, but then
before. Yeah, yeah, it's great.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that would be so. How do you think they would kind of, if you had to like give a quick guess of like how they would intertwine Martha in the 60th?
I think how this would happen is that things have got chaos, and the Kate Lethbridge Stewart at UNIT cannot help anymore. She can't do anything to save the human race because the human race is fighting itself because of the Toy Maker. So what I think
Really good
so
way to.
so I think that she'll get called. She may be in another country. She may be still in Germany. She may be somewhere else. So she's travelled the world and she's got all these different connections. So I reckon that's how it could be. And she sees the Doctor back as the face that it was when she knew the Doctor. So that'll be interesting. I'm very interested to see what Kate is gonna be like because she's seen loads of Doctors' faces. So and she'll remember this one. So it's gonna be interesting how that all happens.
Yeah, no, that's a really good theory, and I mean, it definitely makes sense, and it would be such an easy way to just swoop her in. It's no like crazy explanations or difficulty with like storyline, and
Yeah.
yeah, that'd be awesome. Oh yeah, now I'm just like remembering like they announced Kate, they announced different like guest stars, not specifically like who, or not just specifically for the 60th either, but then oh man, I don't remember the actor's name, but everyone was kind of toying with the idea that he was like kind of related to Jack Harkness, or at least Torchwood, because he had the same like jacket. Do you remember that photo? And he's with Kate. It was like a set photo. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Kind of, but I don't remember who it is.
Okay, okay. Never mind, never mind. Yeah, I can't remember his name, but like we just started talking about Union and Torchwood side, and then Kate, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember those set photos. So, but I'm sure that will reappear down the line. Right now, it's like 60th and she.
Yeah, yeah, because I think at the start of the episode, I said it before, but I see like it'll be like previously on Doctor Who, and they'll go all the way back to Donna getting her mind wiped, and then you'll see Donna and you'll see Rose on the beach maybe with the Medic Crisis Doctor, and I think that's how they'll start it. And then you'll go into present day, not knowing there might be a mini episode before the 60th airs, so like on the 17th is Children in Need, so they might do the events of what happens, or depending if it's going to be a multi-story, multi-doctors, which they may do or they may not, because Shooty's going to be in it. But I mean, like the other
Right.
doctors, so they might just do a little episode extra with all the older doctors to kind of say it's like 60 years, or they'll be in the episode some way or another.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah, I forgot about Children in Need being on the 17th, and then I didn't know about the 21st. So that's really exciting. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. So the 1st, the 23rd, which is Doctor Who Day, and the 17th, no Doctor Who episodes were aired then. So it makes me wonder what the dates are going to be, but we will know. Or we might know by the time this is out, maybe.
Yeah,
Who knows?
yeah. Children in Need will be 1 month from today, so
Yeah.
that's exciting.
Yeah, it's very exciting, and it's going to be so much fun. To see what happens, and if it's going to be chaos. It's going to be so cool.
No.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite Doctor, or do you just like them all?
10 is definitely my favorite. I do love them all, but 10 is definitely my favorite. I mean, it's the first glimpse of Doctor Who that I had, but like the first full episode and season, like I started from 9. And I've only seen some classic Who. Sorry, I haven't seen it all, but you know, it is a lot to get to. But and of course I love 11. He's great. But yeah, no, 10th Doctor would definitely be my favorite. Do you have a favorite?
Yeah, I have my favorite is the 10th Doctor as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, David's just he's incredible. He had incredible stories. I mean, Russell was behind him. You know, it's like it's just that's like for me at least, like the heart of like Doctor Who and like the just like what I think of when I like as soon as I hear Doctor Who, it's like I think of like, you know, 10 and like Russell's right in his world of it.
I think the golden era was between the 9th Doctor to the 11th Doctor for me. It was just the best years of Doctor Who. I mean, the 12th Doctor and the 13th Doctor were good, but I just didn't enjoy it as much from the 12th Doctor. The 12th Doctor last season was good. I like that one with Bill, but I don't
Oh,
know.
Bill.
It just took me a little longer. It didn't with the others. So
Yeah.
it just took me a bit longer to get into it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I'm glad you said that because that's exactly how I feel. I do like 12 and 13, but I didn't love their stories as much. They're both incredible actors. But it's just like the flow, the different, you know, directors and writers between the two, for 12 and 13. But yeah, no, 12, his last season's my favorite too. I love Bill so much. She's so incredible. And then 13, I have like scattered favorites. Like I think her overall her because it was hard to compare her last one because it's not long. But like I think her first season was probably the best. I really didn't love her second. Or it started off okay and then it just kind of
Hmm.
fell apart.
Yeah.
And then like third, sorry.
Yeah. I agree with you. I, I I think the first series don't have a storyline at all, so that's a problem in the series
Yeah.
11. That is a problem that we don't have a series. And I think what they tried to do too much was they wanted to change everything. What Doctor Who was, they changed it, and I think it's great having a girl as a doctor. I think that's great. That should have been done years ago. It shouldn't have took how many years it took for that to happen. But I just felt that weren't the problem. The problem was that you changed everything with that. You've changed the writer, you've changed the composer, you've changed everything about the show. That was the massive problem because, and then series 12 was a bit better. It had a storyline which was very controversial.
Yeah.
Really. But I guess we could that could be a whole episode talking about that. But and then like we say, series 13 was probably the best storyline. Well, not it wasn't really much of a storyline. I mean, there's all scattered. They're all scattered everywhere. All the storylines in that one, but yeah,
Yeah, there was a storyline, but it was scattered. It was messy. I did love Dan though. I wish he wasn't so short-lived. Dan was such a great character. Ironically, even though 13 the season 13 is messy, even the Daleks might be my favorite episode of hers. I mean, it's definitely in like the top 3 at least, but like even the Daleks I thought was really good.
yeah.
I-
Yeah, my favourite episode on the 13th Doctor is I did like the Spyfall two-parter. I did actually like that one. Um,
yeah.
because the actor Sacha Dhawan, who plays the Master, me and him can relate in a way because we have the same disease. He has Crohn's disease, and so do I. So we can relate. And one day I really want to meet him. Um, at a
Does he do
Comic
con?
Con. Yeah, he does sometimes, but um, I've never been to one that he's at. So I want to
Yeah.
meet him because everyone goes for him for Doctor Who. I'll go for him for Doctor Who, but just be like, what Crohn's too? That's not,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. But yeah, the Spyfall two-parter, that was really good. I thought series 12 is gonna be great. This is great. This two-parter is gonna kick it off really well. And then after that, it wasn't that great. Like, but the Future of the Jadoon was a good episode. I did really like that one. Um,
Oh, bringing Jack
yeah,
back was great. Yeah, no, Spyfall, that's why same thing. Like Spyfall, that great two-parter to stop the season. I'm like, yes, and Sasha and then Jack coming back. And there were, like I said, like her good episodes are like scattered between her 3 seasons. Like there's not really a consistency besides like the
no,
Spyfall two-parter. Um, but
yeah, you,
yeah, and Jack, that was such a nice touch because it brought back like, the Russell era. Cause like if Jodie got Russell, like it would just change everything.
yeah, it would. And like another 2 episodes that I did like was well, of course, Pearl the Doctor, but originally in the first series, Rosa was a good episode. It was really good,
Oh,
like, a good one to do. But the only downfall I'd say was you didn't need I don't know, you didn't need any monsters as such in that episode, at all. So, but yeah, that was a good episode. It's not like I was overall pleased with series 11. Like you had the spider episode. Well, no, I guess if you're afraid of spiders, it might
mhm.
be, but um, I don't know if they put a warning on the episode at all for people that are scared of spiders because it was massive, wasn't it, in the bath. Um, so yeah, I want the Sontaran episode and the Weeping Angel episode in Flux. I did like them.
Yes, that was such a great episode. It's hard to not like the Weeping Angels.
Yeah,
It was like another go-to where it was a little Russell moment where it's like, oh, you put Jack in it, it's pretty hard to hate. Oh, you put the Weeping Angels in, pretty hard to hate. Like I get it.
yeah, the
And the
Weeping
Judon.
Angels.
Oh,
Yeah, every Weeping Angel episode is good in my opinion. Every time they've been seen, they've been a good episode.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, 13 is really complicated. Like there's so many different and episodes that are not in the same season that are really solid on their own. And yeah, like you said, like I mean it was great to have a woman doctor, but when you throw in not the greatest writer, not the greatest direction of where you're gonna go, and like you even said, like change like the composer, like you don't even have a familiar intro into like loving it, and it's like so then it's like, oh, this is why a woman shouldn't be a doctor. It's like, no, it's a million other factors. Like Jodie did a great job, everyone did a great job, but uh yeah, I mean hopefully down the line there's another woman doctor, but gotta do it right this time.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be. I'm,
With a
I'm
team behind it.
yeah, I'm sure there will be another one. Because yeah, it's and people may say is a man because the girl didn't work. It's not. It's nothing to do with it. It's a completely different thing. Like they've started something new now where you've never had a black male doctor as the doctor before. So
Yeah.
that's going somewhere different.
Right.
Because there's always been a white male or white female. But it's good that they're doing that.
At least man.
Yeah, yeah. It's they've done well there. But
Yeah.
the thing that we missed though in the last series is we missed companion themes and themes in general, because it was almost like there was just an overall theme throughout the episodes. Like Yaz didn't have a theme, Dan didn't have a theme, Graham didn't have a theme, Ryan didn't have a theme. But I think the problem we had, regardless of the themes, we had too many in the TARDIS. I think one companion is enough, maybe two, but it was too
Yeah.
overcramped, I felt.
Yeah, no, I do too. I mean, I feel like they were trying to like I don't know, win us over by being like, okay, we know you're not gonna like a woman doctor, but here's a bunch of companions that you might like that keeps you watching, and they like, putting two dudes there. It's like I think that's probably direction, or at least someone had an idea that was similar to that. To make up for having a woman doctor, they're like, all right, let's throw in some other people. But I thought it was too crowded. Even at times with like Amy, Rory, and 11, sometimes it feels crowded. But yeah, I think 3 like max as like a
I guess it's like the chemistry that we watch. Like Amy, Rory, and the Doctor's chemistry was perfect. But I felt the chemistry without last series just gone. It didn't work. Like Ryan had a grudge against Graham near enough the whole series till the end, and Dan, Dan was good. I really like Dan. But I just felt have one to start with, and then bring more in if they wanted to do that. Because you have 45 minutes to try and get character to show these characters, and you're not going to share everyone's story in. Oh, you can't. Not in
yeah,
45 minutes. Especially nowadays, it's only 8 episodes a season.
right.
It's not long. So one, maybe have a few others, maybe just one-offs that come in. But yeah, I think that did help things there.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, it's just too many backstories to throw in, and um, I really liked the trio of Dan and Yaz. It was short lived, but I did like the trio. I thought the chemistry was really good. Like Dan was pretty level headed for 13 to like calm down, but then there was also the cool bickering between Dan and Yaz, but they also had like a brother sister friendship, like which is another reason I really like the Eve of the Daleks episode. Like that they really shine, and I mean it's like right, it's like their ending too, but how Dan was such a good mix for the two of them.
Yeah, Dan did well. Dan did really well. It was great. It's great. But it's not like it failed. It worked really well, but it's just things weren't in the right order, maybe. And
Yeah.
storylines weren't finished. You started one storyline with the fugitive doctor. Finish it, or let us know who
Mm-hmm.
it is. Don't throw the fob watch down the TARDIS. Um, uh, um, because that's
Yeah.
really that's what all Flux was about. The Doctor's memories, and then
Yeah.
at the end of it, chuck it away.
Right.
So don't worry about it. So that's 2 storylines, and then you had the Timeless Child or Children, so that's 3. So it was all no storyline in the 13th Doctor era was finished. It's all open for the future.
It was so messy.
Yeah. Like
It
you've
was so
got
messy, very scattered.
it is, and like you have Bad Wolf. That's an ongoing thing, I guess. Bad Wolf can be but any time. Like we had that in the 50th. But like Silence Will Fall, that was originally finished. That was a whole series of series 5, and then it kind of finished, I guess, beginning of series 6. So that was closed. So
Right.
I always like it when they do finish a storyline, not just leave it open. I guess it's good if we want to talk about it, like what we think could happen, but we still don't know who the future of Doctor is, really. And that's something that we do want to know.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah, there's just too many plot lines not finished. There's just no closure, and then the messiness, and yeah, it was not a highlight
No.
of the fandom, but
In
at least there was some moments where they shined.
yeah, that is the good thing about it. But I know in Flux, Azur and Azuri, I think their names was, we never actually properly found out who they are, like why they know the Doctor, because they said they knew the Doctor, and we still didn't know who they were at the end. But I did like them as villains; they were very good. I just like the horror. I like the
Yeah.
horror of Doctor Who. That's when it's at its best. You know, when it gets scared and you have nightmares. That's what I like about it. When I was growing up, you know, just watching the horror and make you jump, stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. I know. I love the horror of it, and yeah, I thought they looked great too. I was really, really excited when I remember seeing the promo pictures of them, and then they announced that the season was gonna kick off with a Halloween episode. I was like, oh my God, this is like a first Halloween, like,
Yeah.
and and lead the way into it. I was like, oh, this is like they might finish off with a bang, you know? But not so much. But again, they had their moments, so.
Yeah, that Halloween episode, it wasn't that bad. It was alright. It was a good start to Flux,
It's
actually. It was good. The Flux, in the first episode, you have all these different bits which were connected in the end. But yeah, I love the Halloween episode because we don't get Halloween on Doctor ever, really.
yeah.
Um, and I think the Easter episode earlier last year was the second ever Easter episode that we ever had. And personally, I think they should do that every year. Because we have a Christmas episode every year. Why don't we have a Halloween, an Easter one? Seasonal episodes would be good.
Right. Just cover all the holidays. And I think over at the UK, like people who don't even watch Doctor Who will tune in for a Christmas special. So it's like you'll get like views if you do any holiday special, really.
Yeah, because it's on Christmas Day. You'd normally have your Christmas dinner, have your presents, then watch Doctor Who in the evening,
Uh,
or whenever it is on. But I loved it on Saturdays. Saturdays on Doctor Who is the day for me, for Doctor Who to be on. Sundays, we had them on Sundays during 13. I wasn't a fan of Sundays. I don't know. I just feel like Doctor Who has to be on a Saturday. It just has to be.
just has to be. I get it.
And like we spoke about like New Year's and Christmas, but the thing is, I think the reason we don't like New Year's is because it's a depressing time. New Year's isn't like Christmas. Christmas is a celebration of the year where and like of how much everyone's achieved, and New Year's is more about, oh, it's another year, here we go again. So you're not as excited, and I don't know if it was because maybe ratings were down, they didn't have enough space for a Christmas Day lineup. Maybe that's what it
Mm.
was, because in the end the ratings did go really down. But yeah, I'm glad we got Christmas back. Um,
Oh,
yeah.
that's so exciting. It's gonna be really nice. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's because it was New Year's and it's just not the same vibe, but I think there's a lot of other factors too. I think
Yeah.
just the series, people not on board with Jodie, and having the pandemic in the middle of her thing, I think really also threw
Yeah,
some things.
yeah. The pandemic didn't help. It didn't help things. For them. I think they would have had a few more episodes, but
Yeah.
they did all right from what they could do.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, it was better than probably all of us expected. Flux. Um, um, Even if stories weren't finished, it was good. It was good. They did well, but I could see the Doctor returning, 13th Doctor at some point, maybe for a cameo or something. Um,
Yeah.
like if the 60th is a dream, potentially the 13th Doctor could regenerate into Shooty. dependent of how it's all going to go. If it's a dream, if it's an illusion, potentially.
That'd be so incredible. I would not be mad at that either. Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, if it was a way to try and include 13.
It's
Yeah,
transition on the torch, you know?
yeah. Do you think that David Tennant will get a regeneration, or do you just think maybe Shooty and the Doctor will meet and they'll just go their separate ways, and David won't regenerate? What do you think about
I think David will regenerate. I think it will be kind of like how 11 went to 12. It'll be like that very quick, like not even because I think I'm not really sure if it's even confirmed, but the first like time we saw Shooty like talking in the teaser and he says, "What the hell is going on here?" I think it reminded me of when 11 went to 12.
that?
Having like a very quick regeneration. But I haven't heard the theory of like it being 13's dream, which would be really cool. I wouldn't be mad about that. So I'd be down for either, but like my theory for the longest time this past year is that it will be like a really quick regeneration from David to Shooty.
Yeah, I think that would be the best thing. Um, I'd like to see a regeneration. Because we can't beat good
Yeah,
regeneration. Like every,
I know.
yeah. I wonder if it's going to be outside the TARDIS again. If that happens, that'd be nice.
Yeah. I think it might be they might mimic I mean, another reason I'm thinking this is again that shot of Shooty on the cliff with the clouds. That it would be outside, a lot like Jodie's regeneration was on the outside of her TARDIS.
Yeah,
I think it might be that. I think it might mimic it. So if like Jodie's not there and it's not like a dream or anything, they might mimic how Jodie regenerated into David and then David to Shooty.
it'd be nice if it wasn't near the TARDIS at all for once.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
think it was.
yeah, but at the same time, I'm really interested to see what the TARDIS looks like. Um, this time.
Yeah, gonna do. I mean, I'm sure there'll be aspects of 10, or they'll just literally go completely new. But I would imagine some aspects of 10.
Yeah, they might maybe do a 60th anniversary TARDIS with some aspects.
Oh yeah.
And then they might just do a completely new thing for Shooty.
Oh yeah, with Shooty completely new. That's
Um,
oh god.
I just want a
Yeah.
purple and orange TARDIS for once. I know you might have a little bit of orange in 13, but it weren't that much. So I want a big TARDIS. Like because the problem with 13th Doctor TARDIS I found if it's too dark and the darkness made it like the TARDIS was really small.
Oh my god, like last year when I was recording all like Christmas stuff, I would record from like episodes of 13 and trying to put a filter on to make everyone look seamlessly like they're in the same lighting. And then anytime 13 was in the TARDIS, it was so dark and I was like, oh, like it just didn't look good on the edit. And I was like, oh wow, like I didn't notice watching it um through her seasons, but then like taking clips and stuff, I was like, oh, hers is so dark. Which is
Yeah,
funny because it's and orange-ish. But yeah, no, I would love orange and purple. Those are my orange is my favorite color. So when I saw Shooty with the orange top and through like the pants, I was like, oh, this is it. This is the look.
yeah, that is a very good. I've got an orange top, so if I did that cosplay, I just need the like the coat and trousers. That's all I need. Um, and some it's got even a black one, like a black jacket, like similar to what the Ninth Doctor wore at some point. So it's really good. The thing with the 14th Doctor, I think the 14th Doctor is going to be different to the 10th Doctor. They're not going to be the same. So it looks like the 14th Doctor is going to be really angry and really more, I guess, serious. Than the 10th Doctor was. 10th Doctor was quite jokey. I think the 14th Doctor might as well, but it's going to be more serious and more. Let's do this now. And potentially may sacrifice himself to regenerate to save Donna this time, and hopefully she gets to keep her memories.
Yeah, hopefully that would I would imagine that too. Yeah, 14 just seems like if 10 grew up as a human, you know, like grumpy and old and kind of takes stuff, you know, more seriously instead of being uh a little bit goofy. But yeah, 14 totally feels like 10 just like grown up as a normal human.
Imagine if the Meta-Crisis Doctor or the Meta-Crisis Doctor is involved in this. Imagine we see 2 David Tennants in it, and they've done that. Maybe the Meta-Crisis is there, or like it might even be the Meta-Crisis Doctor. They might have made a fault in regeneration, potentially.
That would be incredible. Yeah, Disney Plus, another thing they're known for outside of the spin-offs is doing the younger CGI.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
they can do that. One thing, like in the trailer, you know, we see when they're going into the toy maker shop, and the Doctor is saying something has come into this world, and you see all like I guess a galaxy kind of portal, looks like a portal. When he's saying that, I wonder if they make us think that that's the toy maker has come through, will maybe beat the meep and the Waffle is. So maybe other stuff is coming through as well. So maybe past companions or potentially past doctors and stuff like that. That'd be cool.
that would be really cool. Almost like a parallel
Yeah.
universe. Throwing in that multiverse that Disney also loves to do.
Yeah, the toy maker, like they're all the new universe, but the toy maker can make his own world. So potentially, I think that maybe Shooty is in the toy maker's world and trapped there,
Yeah.
and maybe that's what they found out. So yeah, he can make his own world, but I don't think the toy maker can die. So it's gonna be interesting how it all ends. Really.
Yeah, I know. I've been thinking about that on and off too, is how they're gonna send off like Neo. I don't think they would kill him off. I'm sure they might try to save him for future use with Shooty. Whether it's his first season or really draw it out and bring it to like the middle or last. But oh, and I love the shot of the toy maker where he's a giant and he's got the puppet strings.
Yeah.
I keep that gif everywhere, and I'm like, oh, such a good shot.
And the shot, especially, you know, when all the world's on fire, but and it reminds me of Stranger Things. That bit does. We see all the fire, like at the end.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's so cinematic. I don't think we've got a cinematic trailer like this before.
Yeah,
Um,
I know. The other thing is that, you know, with Disney, you know, film is now, you know, film is just so different that than even when 11 and part of maybe 12 was you know, on air. I feel like Jodie was the first to have cinematic views of the Doctor Who world. Like the shots in Jodie's seasons are incredible. Like they're gorgeous.
yeah, they are. Like it's so good, but we've got so much to look forward to. I think in the new season, so much more TikToks to do. And yeah, the 60th is going to be great. So Miranda, last question before we finish. What
Yeah.
for the 60th? Is there something that you want to happen, or is there someone that you want to return that hasn't been announced yet? What would that be?
Well, like we talked about earlier, Martha would be such a great um addition. And as you brought up that I hadn't thought of before, but like, you know, the toy maker making this like parallel universe and to like have it become, you know, either companions or other villains showing up and having the kind of multiverse moment. And so I think that for something that's not announced is like a previous character that would be revisited. Um, but like what's already announced is that I'm really excited for, I mean, I'm excited for everybody, but I am really excited for Donna's dynamic and like where she is. I feel like it's gonna be just so important, her as a mom and having her family and how she's gonna react with 14 and just like all of that. So in that aspect, it's just like a lot of what we had just to see what it expands on in the plot line. But like something that hasn't, as in like a theory, would be like the other companions or any other previous characters having even the slightest cameo.
Yeah, even a small cameo, like we saw for the Power of the Doctor, like Mel having a second or Joe Grant having one word. So so much could happen. And yeah, I'd love it to be that way. I just want it to be our very own whoniverse where anything can happen now. It's so unpredictable. When I saw David Tennant earlier in the year, he said to me, I asked him, "What's it going to be like if you could just say it in a few words?" He said, "He thinks it's going to be really unexpected, but you'll know some stuff and you won't. So there's going to be stuff that we don't know, and that's the excitement about it."
That
Yeah.
is so exciting. I know I'm really for the unknown of it, but I'm also excited for those callbacks. I mean,
Mm.
the 60th, cap is a callback in themselves, the originals, but everything else is very exciting to look forward to, very new.
So exciting. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah. But thank you, Miranda, for coming on to talk about it.
Thank you for inviting me. This was so fun. Very kind of you
Yeah.
to reach out to me. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, very, very much. And we'll definitely keep in contact about Doctor Who.
Yeah, I know. I hope I can do some like TikTok lives before and during the 60th up till the Christmas special with other like Doctor Who TikTokers. So if you
Mhm.
ever see me, request and pop on, we can talk.
Yeah, I definitely will. I've done that once before. Took me a while to figure it out, but yeah, I'll happily come on. It'd be a good time to
Yeah,
do it before it all begins. Um,
yeah. The first time live, The Power of the Doctor was aired, and another TikToker who is Doctor Who based, he asked me to join, so we've become friends since. But we did like lives for Power of the Doctor, and that was super fun. So we want to do that again for 60th, and you're definitely more than welcome to join us.
yeah, I'll if I see you go live, I'll join.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, yeah. But to anyone listening, watching, we hope you enjoy it as well. Wherever you are in the world, if you're in UK, America, um, anywhere. Hope you enjoy it and enjoy the 60th anniversary as well. But thanks again, Miranda, and I hope you have a nice day.
Yes, thank you. You too.